From the Steel City, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Highmark Stadium, to be exact, for this regular season finale between the Riverhounds and Hartford Athletic in the Atlantic Division of the USL Championship. Alongside the former Premier League and MLS standout Lloyd Sam, I'm Sean St. Jacques, happy to be with you, wrapping up this very exciting USL Championship season. Here's what it means, Lloyd, in the Atlantic Division. Pittsburgh, with a win and help from Austin Bold, could clinch the 2 seed today and get a home playoff game.
Yeah, it's great to have a game that's actually relevant, though. You know, Pittsburgh have a chance to get up into that second spot, which is really going to mean something. Home and away, that means something in football. So this is one to watch today.
This division has been as competitive as any all season long. Hartford will try to play the role of spoilers tonight. We'll dive a little bit deeper into what this one means for Pittsburgh specifically. Pittsburgh has to win tonight. A draw would not be good enough, and they have to hope that Charlotte Independence, who play Austin later on tonight, either lose or draw. That would give Pittsburgh a home playoff game against Memphis 901 FC. And obviously Pittsburgh at home this season has been very good. 9 wins in 16 games. A draw or a loss, though, would mean they'd have to play either Birmingham Legion or Lou City on the road in the first round of the playoffs. And of course, those two play each other later on tonight as well to decide who that will be. Players to watch, we start with Alex Dixon, who's been phenomenal this season, Lloyd. 9 goals and 9 assists.
Sean, he's actually one of my favorite players to watch in the league. Him and his sidekick, Russell Cicerone there. Alex Dixon, he's got technical ability and he's a sharp player. He can, you know, he can get a little half a yard on you and then deliver some technique.
Of course, he's playing his former club tonight as well with Hartford Athletic in town. They're led by Walmer Martinez, who's coming off a big brace in a win over Charleston last time out.
What a great story it is with Martinez. Came in as a trialist at the beginning of the season, ends the season as an international for El Salvador. As you said, got 2 goals last game, and he's going to be one to watch for today. He should be dangerous trying to get in behind that defense.
Hartford have been playing well towards the end of this regular season, but they're only in the mix for being a spoiler tonight in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh wants to stay right where they are going into the postseason. Hartford's trying to slow them down as the regular season comes to a close. The kickoff is next.
Before, you weren't able to walk very far.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I couldn't even get out of bed sometimes.
How are you walking now?
I'm walking 6 miles a day.
Awesome.
Getting control back is living proof. The AHN Neuroscience Institute.
I can't believe we're doing this.
Gus, you're not scared, are you?
I don't like thunder. Hope there are no monsters.
Did you say monster?
Ooh, monster money. The new scratch-off from the Pennsylvania lottery.
Yeah, with top prizes of 13 grand.
That's a monster of a prize. Keep on scratching.
2022 season tickets are now on sale for both full and partial season plans. And you can get in for as low as $153. Don't miss your opportunity to save over 20% off of single game prices.
The man who's done it for them all year, it's Russell Cicerone.
That's a good finish. Cross Wharton. Score!
Order today at riverhounds.com/tickets or call 412-325-7231.
Sean St. Jacques, Lloyd Sam back here with you at Highmark Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Rain's starting to come down pretty hard here, but we're ready to go between the Riverhounds and Hartford Athletic. Let's start by looking at the starting lineups, I should say, for both teams. Here's Bob Lilly's 11 with the Pittsburgh Riverhounds in search of the number 2 seed.
Going to talk about guys I mentioned already. Dixon, his little sidekick, I call him the sidekick, but Cicerone. How good have they been? The amount of goal involvements they've had this season. You know, you got Canado Forbes again. Those are the key players I would say for today.
Harry Watling's Hartford Athletic. Final game of the season for Harry Watling's side, and here's how they line up with Obergon up top.
Good thing you started with Obregon on top. He should be a handful. He plays. He gives 110% effort. He's going to be an important guy today.
Hartford playing the role of spoilers this evening. This is their last game of the regular season. Pittsburgh, no, they will have a playoff game, but will they be here or will they be on the road? These fans are hoping they're going to stay right here, but they've got to do the business here against Hartford first. A win for Pittsburgh and dropped points in the Lone Star State by Charlotte will mean that Pittsburgh will host Memphis here next week. We're underway from the Steel City. It is pouring at the moment, but we're excited for this final day of the regular season clash between two Atlantic Division rivals. Pittsburgh win a free kick in their home black and yellows. Hartford are on their road in their road grays with the dark trim and numbering. Early start, Dixon was nearly in behind. Boy, 21 seconds in.
Wow.
Hartford fell asleep, but Dixon didn't make them pay.
Once the camera got round to where Dixon was, it looked like he was going to be in for a second. Early warning, you know, less than 30 seconds gone. You know, when it's wet like this, a lot of us players, we like to play. It's nice and zippy. This might be wetter than normal though, but on this turf, I think it could have a decent effect.
Fourth and final meeting between these two. Pittsburgh have won 2 out of 3. The third meeting was a draw. Hartford have only won once in their history over Pittsburgh. It was late last season here when Hartford ended up overtaking Pittsburgh for top spot in their group in the shortened COVID season. Hartford and Pittsburgh both ended up losing in the first round of the playoffs to St. Louis and Lou City, respectively. Of course, Pittsburgh could have to go to Lou City again, potentially, if the results don't go their way. They'll either be going to Lou City for a second consecutive year, or they might have to go to Birmingham Legion as well, depending on the result of that game later on tonight. Other than that defeat, though, it's been all Pittsburgh. 6 wins out of 8 against Hartford and a draw thrown in there as well. Besides that late season run and that one victory that Hartford has here at Highmark Stadium, the Riverhounds have dominated this rivalry in the 3 years Hartford have been in existence.
Sean, one thing I'll say about this game today for Hartford, absolutely no pressure. You come in here and you can play your football. You can, you know, you're going to have relaxed shoulders going into the game. And on the other side, Pittsburgh, there's a lot of pressure. I wonder how that's going to play out. You know, it's nice to go into a game knowing, you know, we could just play our football and spoil the party.
Just saw Bob Lilly on the screen a moment ago. Has a great record here at Highmark, hoping that Pittsburgh can get 3 more valuable points that would give them a 2-point advantage over Charlotte. It's a point at the moment with Charlotte in front. It's worth mentioning as well, if there's a tie, let's say Pittsburgh draws, Charlotte loses, Charlotte has the tiebreaker over Pittsburgh, beating them 3 out of 4 times during the regular season. So a win is essential for Pittsburgh if they're going to get that number 2 spot in this very competitive Atlantic Division.
And you've got to believe all those players on the field will be aware of, you know, all the possible outcomes and what's needed. You know, what's needed in this game. Probably want to start it out somewhat cagey. You don't want to go all the way out, but as the game goes on, knowing they need a win sets up an exciting game.
Of course, Alex Dixon, formerly of Hartford Athletic, was such a big part of Roddy Jaidi's bunch that made it to the playoffs as the top seed out of their group last season. He's come to Pittsburgh, and he's just been phenomenal this season under Bob Lilly. This is Kennardo Forbes, meanwhile, but the whistle goes. Offside flag was up on the near side as Kevin Broadley looked to his assistant referee. There's Harry Watling, head coach of Hartford Athletic. It really was that 2-month stretch between August 6th and October 6th that has defined Hartford Athletic season, because around those 2 months, the Hartford side was really good, but during that 2-month stretch, played 13, lost 9, won just 2. And that ended up being the difference in Hartford's chances of making the playoffs.
Yeah, those numbers aren't easy to hear. You know, that's a tough spell for a team that started off so well. Remember at the beginning of the season, they weren't expected to even be where they were. Harry Watling's done a great job with this team. A lot of players have come in, a lot of trialists. You know, they've had to wheel and deal. But, you know, I'm sure they've learned a lot from this season and will come back better for it next season.
Hartford have set a franchise record for points in a single season, although it's worth mentioning last year was a shortened USL Championship campaign, so that probably would have been if they had played the normal amount of games that year. But because of the shortened season a year ago, this year they've set the record for points in a season, but in the end it's not going to be enough for the playoffs. That being said, just to piggyback off your point, Lloyd, there's been a lot of positives for Hartford despite that, and the hope is that they can build on this season. They've finished the season pretty well these last few games, coming off a 2-0 win in particular over Charleston last time out, and could be in the mix for the playoffs next season.
In a tough division as well. Look at the teams they're up against. You can imagine them. Let's see what happens here.
Oh, Martinez, meanwhile, puts in a good ball at the back post. Dodson made a good run, just couldn't square it.
What a great ball that was. When it's as wet as it is like it is tonight, when you get the ball where this ball comes in from, great ball, the pace on it, flies across. That's panic stations for the defense. Dodson, if only he could divert it back towards goal. That's unlucky.
Of course, Walter Martinez is coming off a brace in that 2-0 victory over Charleston. He's on the ball now here for Hartford Athletic.
So what I was about to say, Sean, I could imagine Hartford in another division qualifying for playoffs with the same sort of season, if that makes sense. You know, this is a very unforgiving division. The amount of good coaches they have in this division and good players makes it very, very difficult.
It's a great point. Look at the Pacific Division, 39 points would be good enough. Hartford coming into the night on 41. They'd be in it in just about every other division besides this one. So it's
And I said
hard,
that without even looking.
hard done by, yeah. Meanwhile, Connor McGlynn getting a talking to from Kevin Broadley, our center referee, after this challenge on Alex Dixon.
Dare I say it, that's a good foul by Connor McGlynn. You don't want Alex Dixon getting in between the defense and the midfield and running at your back four, you know, to cause some problems.
So Todd Wharton stands over this set piece, formerly of St. Louis FC, now defunct. Made the playoffs in their final season a year ago, beating Hartford Athletic at Dillon Stadium in the opening round. So there's some history between not only Dixon and Hartford, but Wharton and Hartford as well. Obregon wrestling with Danny Griffin.
I'm shocked there wasn't a foul given there.
Williamson and Hack give chase. Of course, Pittsburgh last time out played in that wild replay game against Miami, the game that was started again from 24 minutes from time because of an own goal that was misjudged by the center official. Ended up going down as a Luba own goal that Miami gifted Pittsburgh in the end, and then the last time that Pittsburgh played, they had to finish the game. So they played the last 24 minutes in Miami. They left with the 3 points, and it gives them a chance here if they win and things go right for them between Austin and Charlotte to have a home playoff game, which eluded them a season ago, thanks to Hartford Athletics' great finish under Roddy Jaidi.
Well, you know, you got to take the positives, though. You know, you want to get that home game, but it must be nice, you know, to know you've qualified already. You know, one way or another, you're in the playoffs. It does make a difference playing at home or away, but it's a nice thing to fall back on.
And you mentioned how good this division is. I think Pittsburgh, Charlotte, and of course Miami's gonna have to be on the road. Meanwhile, Cicerone's in behind. Oh, he's missed it. What a chance. He's been so clinical this season, Russell Cicerone, a career year in front of goal, but he couldn't put the chance away this time.
Yeah, that was a good shot. There's a little flick here, I think goes through the legs. Great bit of football. Cicerone in a nice spot. That's where you kind of want to shoot it from, right-footed striker. You want to hit it from that angle where you could go either way. I'm surprised he's missed the target there. That's not like him.
Just to finish the point, though, any one of these 4 teams out of the Atlantic Division is going to feel confident, home or away, in these USL Championship playoffs. And they've been battle-tested all year in this division. And I think if you ask any coach, Mike Jeffries of Charlotte, Bob Lilly, Pittsburgh, Neil Collins of Tampa Bay, or Paul Dalglish in Miami, I think any of them would tell you that course, they love to play on the at home, I should say, but on the road, they'll still like their chances.
Yeah, coming from a strong division, you know, they've played against each other all year. They're probably relieved to get out of the division for a second and go play someone else, because, you know, you build up some big rivalries between these teams going up against each other over and over.
Yeah, 4 times a year in division. That's quite a bit. That's double what the normal amount is. So those are when rivalries really start to form.
And Sean, when it's like that, you know, you go to sleep knowing your opponent, and you might have some dreams about the person you're playing against because you played against them so much.
Yeah.
You have like what's the word? Sometimes an ill feeling towards them. The rivalry, it heats up quickly when you play against the same guys.
Hartford are able to clear their lines on this occasion as Obregon put a little bit of pressure on Jelani Peters. It's going to be out for a Hartford throw just over the 10-minute mark in the first half. We'll be keeping an eye on that New Mexico United Real Monarchs game. New Mexico has to win if they are to get into the playoffs in their division. And then, of course, Birmingham Legion hosting Lou City. That's going to kick off at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, also here on ESPN+. The winner of that game gets the top spot in the Central Division. It could impact who Pittsburgh play, potentially, if they can't get the second spot. And of course, if there's a draw in that Birmingham Lou City game, the top spot does go to Birmingham Legion.
Exciting times, the playoffs. This USL playoffs that's coming up, you know, looking at the brackets, really excited. You know, I've never really followed it as much as this year. Obviously, I've been doing the broadcast, and I've been so into it this year. I can't wait for playoffs. And
that's just the first set of games. The night games, it's a totally different thing. There's so many other teams.
Yeah.
RGV, Colorado Springs, San Antonio, just to name a few in the nightcap, the late nightcap as well, that also have playoff and seeding implications. Los Dos, Orange County, San Diego, a ton of games to watch throughout the night into the early morning potentially in the USL Championship. Not the best of headers there. Williamson's able to get in behind, put a good ball across. Hack just got a foot on that after it was misjudged initially by Cardona at the back. And then Obregon is able to win a free kick just on the Pittsburgh side of midfield.
So you see Thomas Williamson up there battling. He made that happen. There wasn't really anything on, and he put himself about a little bit. And I've seen him do that before. There's 2 strikers on either team. We've got Obregon on one team. He's going to battle, and we've got Williamson on the other side. Wow.
Rain continues to come down here in Pittsburgh.
We like a light drizzle, but that is a bit looking like a torrential rain.
That's borderline buckets right there, right?
That's a strong one.
Can't quite tell from our shots on the field, but those are the pictures that tell you how much moisture is hitting the field here at Highmark Stadium. This is Barrera for Hartford. Lovely skill. Big chance for Athletic, and it just came from behind. Too far behind a number of Hartford players that were in the vicinity. Now Pittsburgh can counter. Cicerone to Dixon. Dixon 9 goals, 9 assists this season. Gets held up that time. It's back to Shane Veets, and then at the feet of Williams.
Now that the play slowed down, I like that we both use the same word to describe that Danny Barrera skill right there, that little pass. Lovely little ball.
Of course, Danny Barrera could make some history tonight. 44 career assists. If he gets a pair, he could pass Bernardo Forbes, who's the all-time leader in USL Championship assists, who's, of course, starting for Pittsburgh tonight. He's got 45 career USL Championship assists.
I wonder if they're both aware of that and, you know, might have a little joke on the field as the game's going on. That would be cool.
Well, of course, Bernardo Forbes could also put himself further ahead tonight as well.
That's right, that's right. You know,
the game within the game.
There's a bit of cat and mouse between the two. But what a classy little pass that was in behind. Not everybody sees those passes on the field.
It's a good play there from Harry Watling's Hartford Athletic. As they try to put this into the penalty area and give Pittsburgh something to think about here in the early stages of this one. Hartford have won 3 of their last 5. Couple of headers to center that into the middle of the penalty area, but in the end, it doesn't bother Danny Vitiello and doesn't get on target.
Deep free kick coming in. You're not sure what's going to come of it. Next thing you know, hang on, there's a chance there. Dodson just gets under it a bit too much. It's a half a chance there. It's not easy, but you'd love to see him put that on target there.
Pittsburgh will restart things. Couple of chances there for Hartford Athletic, giving Pittsburgh something to mull over. Williamson centering pass for Forbes. Forbes, a little bit of a deflection on the way through, and Hartford are able to clear their lines. Lovely skill by Obergon initially, but then he's swarmed. Griffin. Forbes. This is Todd Wharton. Wheat, and Wharton is fouled, and Danny Barrera is booked.
I'm confused to why that's a yellow card. I was surprised the ref blew. But let's have a look at it again. See what the ref really didn't like here. Okay, it did look like he took a little bit of a blow to the back of the head there. I apologize to the referee. I see what he's seen now.
Yeah, and to be fair, referee got a very good look at that. We saw the opposite angle. And Danny Barrera, early yellow card there for him. Captain's armband, of course, tonight for Hartford Athletic. And a set piece in a decent spot here for Kennardo Forbes and Pittsburgh. Could he add to his record tally of USL Championship assists? Forbes, good shape on it, kept alive. Williamson shot, blocked initially by Rogers, and then at the second attempt, it's out for a corner.
Great shape on it, as you said, right into the danger area. Probably a bit past the danger area, but in a position where it could have been kept alive, which it was. And Williamson nearly got a shot off there.
Yeah, Tommy Williamson, 6 goals this season. That's third best on Pittsburgh's roster. Of course, with the injury problems that Albert Dikwa has had this season, that's been a big boost for this Riverhounds attack. Forbes directing through the rain here in the Steel City. Another good ball in from Forbes. The header is down, and it's just a shade wide of the post. Really good header from Mikel Williams, just couldn't put it on frame.
Yeah, I might have liked him to head this back across towards that back post. See all the yellow shirts in there to give one of his teammates a chance. It's unlucky, though. Didn't trouble the keeper in the end.
Stop by our ticket sales table behind the bleachers between sections 106 and 107 to claim your prize.
Oh, New Mexico United has just taken the lead against Real Monarchs. The only other game with playoff or seeding implications in this first wave of USL Championship games tonight. New Mexico United has to win. They're going to get in the playoffs, and they've done what they've had to do so far. They've gotten the start that they were hoping, and they literally just scored moments ago. They lead Real Monarchs by 1-0. Bob Lilly's side in search of a goal here as he directs traffic in the midst of pouring rain. New Mexico, of course, trying to finish ahead of RGV and Austin Bold as well. RGV play El Paso later on tonight at home. And that one could end up being what decides New Mexico's fate in that Mountain Division. Of course, if you're just joining us, the situation here, Pittsburgh has already clinched a playoff spot. Hartford is already out. But Pittsburgh is trying to clinch the number 2 spot in the Atlantic Division, which would give them a home playoff game here against Memphis 901 FC in the first round next weekend. They'll need to win, and they'll need to hope that Charlotte drop points tonight against Austin Bold in the Lone Star State.
And I watched Memphis play against Tulsa just a few days ago, and they looked really good in that game. Really beat up Tulsa and really put it to them. And I was thinking, wow, they're peaking right at the right time before the playoffs, so that's not going to be an easy game.
I think people forget that Memphis were towards the bottom of the Central Division the first 2 or 3 months of the season, but Ben Pierman totally turned it around, and they're in great form right now these last 2 months in particular.
I've heard things about their start in preseason. They didn't have their team set, and it took a while to really get started. I think that explains their bad start to the season. When you see them now, looking like a well-oiled machine.
Of course, Tulsa, who you also mentioned, they know their fate. They're going to have to go play Tampa Bay in the first round of the playoffs, with Memphis clinching that number 3 spot with that victory. So it's one of the few playoff matchups that we're sure of, and we could obviously find out the rest slowly but surely as the night goes on. Danny Barrera's ball in. Wharton got ahead to it first. It's helped on by Williams. It did hit the referee, and he blows his whistle to stop the play. Oh, Pittsburgh were away with it. And they're letting him know.
What a sequence.
They could have allowed advantage there, but the referee brings it back. You see here, Williamson's header, it does hit the chest.
Forbes. And you know Forbes can find the pass as well,
and
right?
I think the whistle went right as Forbes was about to pass it as well. Pittsburgh could have been in behind, but they don't catch the break that time. Bit unlucky for the referee there. He couldn't see where the ball was going to end up, but when he did, I think he probably realized he made a mistake. And then Pittsburgh give it right back. Lovely pass again from Barrera. And Obregon wins a free kick just outside of the penalty area.
Dangerous area to swing one in. Left foot of Barrera. It's going to naturally curl towards the goal. So when it's wet like this, you do not want to give too many of these free kicks away.
Of course, Charlotte will be watching this game. If Pittsburgh don't win, Charlotte will have already clinched the number 2 seed. They will have the option to rest players if they want, which could give Austin an opportunity. They are playing for a playoff spot as well. There's so many dominoes to look at and keep track of. As you saw Harry Watling there, he's obviously coaching this game like it means everything to Hartford, as he always does.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. Seeing the same passion as earlier on in the season when everything was still to play for. You know, I'm sure in his mind, he knows what he wants to see today from his team.
This ball is in from Rogers, and it's a good ball, and it was missed by Dodson, and then a foul in there as well, allow Pittsburgh to clear their lines. Another great ball in, this time Rogers, but nobody in a gray kit got a touch.
Looked like someone was going to get on to the end of that for a second. Not sure what really happened in there. Free kick given nonetheless.
Just to piggyback off of your point as well, Lloyd, I remember watching that Charleston-Hartford game where in the end Charleston kept their playoff hopes alive with a 4-3 win, and Hartford were 4-1 down in that game. Season's basically done. They knew it was pretty much over. They would have had to score 5 in that game to keep their playoff hopes alive. It was still the same Harry Watling on the sideline. Didn't change at all. The passion, the intensity was still there. They nearly came back from 4-1 down to get a draw in that game. Doesn't change with him on the sidelines, no matter what the circumstances.
And for a player, you look over at your coach and you see that. It lets you know, hey, this isn't just any old exhibition. This is a game where, you know, our fans are watching, the club is watching. Our manager's that passionate. I better get some of that passion as well. So it rubs off on everyone around.
Oh boy, a couple headers were missed there. Hack was just able to get the better of, I think it was Williamson there. It's going to go Hartford's way. Pittsburgh have won 3 of their last 5, unbeaten in 4 of their last 5, to give them a chance of passing Charlotte Independence for that number 2 spot, and Hartford win a free kick here. We talked about it in the open, but it's worth mentioning. Pittsburgh, 9 wins, 3 draws, only 3 defeats here at home this season. Of course, if Charlotte get home field advantage. It's big for them as well. They've only lost once at home all year in USL Championship play. And believe it or not, it was to New York Red Bulls 2 back in July. Pittsburgh on the attack here. Griffin fighting Forbes. Forbes lays it off. Wharton. Wheat. And Hartford headed out. It's a corner.
I like the ball there from Wheat that he played in. I wanted to see, you know, Forbes was over there, but it didn't look like anyone was really anticipating that first-time ball. Could have been a bit more dangerous if a couple had gambled at that back post.
So a set piece here for Canardo. Forbes also wearing, the captain's armband tonight with a couple of extracurriculars going on here, with Wharton getting what looked like he was flipped over from what we saw on the tangle up with Younes Boudadi.
Some wrestling going on in there.
Yeah.
We caught the tail end of that.
Not exactly sure what happened. Again, we saw the very end of that sequence. Both of them are now over to talk to Kevin Broadley, the referee. This is what happened. And it was a little bit of wrestling there.
Oh, man. Give them their talking to and let's get on with the game.
Yeah, it looked like even Kevin Broadley, I think, just saw the tail end of that as well.
Yeah, what can the ref
We'll
do
call it a draw.
when something like that happens? He doesn't get the benefit of replay.
Yeah. Yeah, no VAR, of course, so honors even in the wrestling match. Forbes on the corner now for Pittsburgh. And that's going to go out of play. Actually, there was a foul even before that, so regardless, Hartford are able to survive that wave of Pittsburgh attacks.
If it was the same two again. Still,
yeah, maybe round two.
I wouldn't be surprised. When we're on the field, we get told off. As soon as he turns his head, we're straight back to it again.
Well, again, just showing you how much Hartford are showing in this one. They want to finish the season with a flourish in their final game of this 2021 campaign, giving everything to make it hard on Pittsburgh, just like they did last year as well, pipping them to the top spot and getting that home playoff game, denying Pittsburgh, who could end up getting the same fate as they got last year, could end up having to go to Lou City for a second consecutive year in the first round. Of course, that would imply that Birmingham would either get a win or a draw against Lou City. Again, Lou City could still get the top spot in the Central.
I think you want to avoid Lou City at Lou City as much as you can. You know, especially with their fans over there. That's a real big lift for them.
A yellow card here off the foul. I think Williamson was brought down initially. We'll get another look. As Kevin Broadley did brandish another yellow card. I think it was for Cardona. We'll have another look.
Maybe just a free kick that time. You know, the first time I questioned the yellow. This one, maybe a free kick. It's probably his first foul. Let's see again. Maybe I'll take my words back. Oh, that's just a free kick, I believe.
Maybe a bit hard done by there, Cardona.
Exactly that look.
And he gave you the same finger.
Is what I'm thinking. Like
he said one as well.
He's like, really, ref? That's my first foul.
Yeah. Well, you guys are on the same page. Referee was not on the same page. So that's the second Hartford player in the book, along with Danny Barrera as well. Forbes took it too quickly. Got to be on the whistle, says the referee. I think even Shane Veet wasn't sure that they were ready to take it before Forbes started it up quickly. Peters. Ball is lofted in, but I think it went out of play first. And it's going to be a Hartford throw.
A yellow card has been issued to Hartford Athletics.
We'll stay with Hartford Athletic here. Just slowly moving it down the pitch. It's Luca Perpa wins a free kick. Another chance to give Pittsburgh something to defend here. Been a little shaky, I think, so far on set-piece defending tonight, Pittsburgh. Hartford have had some real opportunities from set pieces so far tonight.
Yeah, the Dodson header comes to mind from a deep free kick. Don't want to give up a chance close from a deep one.
Half an hour gone here at Highmark. But Vitiello is there, well judged. Could be a historic night for Danny Vitiello as well. If Pittsburgh win tonight, Danny Vitiello will have 16 goalkeeper wins this season, wins while he's played in goal for Pittsburgh. That would actually tie a franchise record. This leads to a chance for Dixon, meanwhile. And Dixon with his left boot inexplicably misses the target.
Sean, watch how quick it can go from just at the back, not doing much, to a guy in on goal. You know, one guy misses the ball, Dixon's in on goal, really expecting a lot better from him. I think he's expecting better from himself in that situation. Have to hit the target on his weaker foot, didn't get it right that time.
Might have slipped too. I could see some of the turf on his shirt afterwards.
And just a reminder, he's a player with 9 goals and 9 assists. He knows how to put it in the back of the net.
Could become the first Pittsburgh player ever to have a double-double, as they say. 10 goals and 10 assists in the same season. If he could do it tonight, 1 goal and 1 assist would be required. To be fair, Russell Cicerone with 2 assists would accomplish the same feat tonight.
16 and 8 for Cicerone and 9 and 9 for Dixon. Wow, it's a lot of goal involvements right there.
No question. This is Dotson for Hartford Athletic on the other end. Whips it in, handball appeals, referee brings it back for a free kick.
He had a little think about it for a second, it looked like. I think this is probably a good decision. Yeah, that's a great decision from the ref. It's okay to think about it for a second. For a second, I thought he wasn't going to blow, though.
It's brought back for a free kick. Bob Lilly protests. But it was the right decision from the referee. Maybe he was more frustrated over the time it took Kevin Brodley to get to that decision more than anything else. But in the end, it was the right one. And the maestro, Danny Barrera, sizes this set piece up. Good crowd here at Highmark, despite the rain coming down. They know how important this one could potentially be, and they want to see their boys back here again for another game next week. Hartford, though, are trying to make life hard for them, and nearly fell for Dotson again at the back post after a couple players had a chance to get a header and missed it. It's going to go Pittsburgh's way. Dotson not happy with the decision from the assistant on the far side.
Yeah, that flew right across the 6-yard box. You want to see some Hartford players in and around that, you know, just flying in. Just missed everyone that time.
I think that's the second time there's been a set piece like that where 2 or 3 Hartford players could have gotten a touch and no one ends up getting a piece.
And to your point before, this is going away from that chance, what you said about the crowd with the rain. Got to give them a lot of credit.
Yeah.
Turning up. It's so easy to say, hey, I'll just catch this at home on ESPN+.
Yeah.
But they've come out to support their team, and we saw the images of the rain earlier. You can see it in the background there, hitting those seats. It's a nice stadium to come to, though. I love games at this stadium with the trains in the background, the yachts. A lot of movement.
I think a lot of people around here would love to see how the crowd is, especially for a playoff game as well. Certainly one of the best atmospheres in the entire USL Championship for a big game, no question about that. And now Harry Watling having his time with the 4th official over that last sequence. And of course, we always appreciate you guys watching on ESPN Plus. And if you don't feel like dealing with the elements, we're happy you feel like dealing with us tonight.
I might have made some fans feel guilty that are at home.
We're happy to have you.
Watching it.
We're happy to have
as
you.
As long as you're watching, your team will appreciate that.
No question. There's a set piece here for Pittsburgh. We saw the Maestro Barrera at one end. It's the assist artiste Forbes at the other. What can he provide for the Riverhounds? Oh, Forbes slid it through. Was a really good idea. Just had a little bit of a touch on the way through that denied him. Really smart idea. Just couldn't find a teammate after a crucial intervention.
Yeah, that's one they worked on. I didn't see that coming. But you know what I would say, Sean? I would say in these conditions, just swing one in, you know, and let your big guys go for it is what I'm thinking. Just because it's as wet as it is, now you miss out on an opportunity altogether. Well, I guess you want to try some stuff here and there.
Martinez helping it on for Obregon. He was able to get there first. Williamson denied by Cardona. And it's out for a Pittsburgh throw just to the left of Harry Watling. Hartford win it back here, but it's easily dealt with, and Dixon picks it back up. Now Cicerone. Danny Griffin, who's played all but 12 minutes this season for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. He started in every game this year. He's actually started in every game the last 2 seasons for Pittsburgh Riverhounds, and this season he's only played, he's only missed 12 minutes.
When I spoke to Bob Lilly, he always seems to mention Griffin as an unsung hero in that midfield. He does a lot of things that that team appreciates, that's for sure.
Bob Lilly early in the season called him the glue of this Pittsburgh Riverhound team, and he's one of those guys along with, you know, your Vitiellos, your Dixons, and your Cicerones, first names on the team sheet. Danny Griffin's been that guy now for 2 seasons for the Riverhounds. And of course that back line, to be fair, is also pretty consistent with the likes of Williams, Peters, and Wheat. Free kick's going to go Hartford Athletics' way. Could argue Hartford have had the better chances so far tonight. Dixon was played in really early, 20 seconds in, just couldn't get the touch right. Couple of set pieces for Pittsburgh, just
I'm thinking of the other Dixon,
chances.
The other Dixon chance on his left foot. That was the big one. And then Cicerone had one on the right.
Oh, this could be a chance. Williamson, lovely ball across. Cicerone! Well, that's Pittsburgh's best chance so far. And Cicerone can't believe he's not hit the target.
Let's enjoy this little pass here coming from Williamson, though. You know, the ball dropped to him, and I love the way he chopped it back immediately to Cicerone. Little no-look pass. I love that. Cicerone, remember what I said earlier about that angle? He would tell you. He loves that angle right there. I've seen him do this over and over again this season. Again, can't convert. No, they're tried and tested players. Him, Dixon, they're the guys you want going through, and they've gone through twice. And as we said, cannot convert as yet.
Couple of huge chances for Pittsburgh to find the breakthrough, and they haven't taken it.
Good play from Williamson, though. I've been impressed with him early on, battling for everything, as I said. I've seen him do that before, but I didn't know he had no-look passes in his locker.
That was sharp, no question about that. Here's Forbes. Forbes just lofting it for Dixon here. And again, Dixon not able to get the touch right initially, but he regains and then loses it out of bounds. Well, maybe it's because of the weather, but
Started off promising. As that ball came over, you want to get that touch. As you said, he's not got the touch right a couple times, but it was still in a decent position. Ended up running it out of bounds.
Couple came together there, but it was Peters who won the header initially. And I think Griffin is penalized here, so it's going to go back to Hartford Athletic with just over 5 minutes to play in, at the moment, somehow, a scoreless first half. McGlynn. Not able to find a teammate. Udati picks it up. Dangerous pass, but Justin Hack is able to deal with it.
Good ball.
Barrera from Cardona.
That's another good one.
This is good here from Hartford Athletic. Perpa. Perpa! Oh, what a save by Vitiello. That looked like it was going into the back of the net for a split second.
Great football from Hartford. That's what a footballing move should look like. It started from the very back. We'll take it from here where the shot comes from. But that starts, wow, what a great save. Let's have a look at that again. What a good angle to see it. Danny Vitiello, equal to that one. That's beautiful.
Two really good passes to lead to that chance as well. One from Barrera. But Danny Vitiello denies Hartford Athletic.
Yeah, that started from Nico Cardona. Barrera turns, gets it to Perpa. He drives, and that's what it should look like. Unlucky.
It leads to this corner for Athletic. Barrera and Rogers, little give and go, and just over the top. Perpa was closest to it. And in the end, it's out for a goal kick. Couple of really good chances, one for each side in the last couple of moments. One of them was just a flat-out miss from Cicerone, and Vitiello equal to the chance from Luca Perpa. He was kind of invited to shoot almost.
That save right there. Vitiello, you know he wants that home leg. He wants to win this game. Pulling out saves like that.
Flicked on by Cicerone. This is Williamson. Has help on the overlap, but Budati was there initially at least. Then a foul, I think it's just outside of the penalty area. Referee points to the spot just on the outside of the 18-yard box. Fans want a penalty. It's just a yellow card, I think, for Budati on the trip. Here's another look.
Wow. Let's see where this was. I'm leaning in. What do you think, Sean?
Oh, it's so hard to tell.
Oh,
Might have been just outside, but we're talking inches here.
wow.
Yunus Budati might be thanking his lucky stars. That was so close to being in the penalty area.
Maybe 1 inch.
Look how close that is. We're talking maybe 4 inches there.
I mean, where the ball's put is 4 inches. Where the actual thing, it seemed like it was even tighter than that.
For sure. My goodness. It's tough for us to even tell on the replay. It's going to be a free kick, though, for Forbes and the Riverhounds here. Latter stages of the first half. Forbes just chips it through, punched away by Caldwell. Still not fully dealt with until Justin Hack got a piece of it, still not cleared. A spinning shot in the end is looped in, and Caldwell saves as Mikel Williams tried a very ambitious effort from the outskirts of the penalty area. And Hartford just about survive another Pittsburgh onslaught. Dixon tried to find Williamson. Williamson a little unlucky there. Cardona is able to hit it off of him and out for a throw. It's the second defender, by the way, for Hartford to pick up a yellow card in this first half. We'll see if Harry Watling considers that in the halftime team talk and potential changes. Does have Tulu on the bench tonight. Harry Watling. Meanwhile, this ball over the top for Alex Dixon, who can be very dangerous when given this much space. Dixon ends up winning a corner. Good recovery, I believe, by Rogers on this near side.
Game's picked up, you know, right towards the end of this first half. Both teams with chances. It's good for the neutrals.
One added minute at the end of this first half, and I do have an update for you on the New Mexico game in just a second. But here's Forbes on this set piece. Header is down. I think it was Peters who got up highest, but he couldn't direct it anywhere near Caldwell and his goal. Meanwhile, at Isotopes Park, Real Monarchs have equalized against New Mexico United. A potential killer blow to New Mexico United's chances. They have to win. They're about to go into halftime, but that's a huge moment for their chances in the Mountain Division, and it's music to RGV fans in their ears.
Still a lot of football to play there. You know, one football match, you can have a lot of emotions. So we'll see how that ends up.
And remember, Real Monarchs, bottom of that division, giving New Mexico United all they can handle on the final day of the season. Hartford have done the same here against Pittsburgh. It's been a very competitive and tight first half. And at the half, it's Pittsburgh 0, Hartford 0, Lloyd, in a very, very hotly contested game.
I love the way that heated up towards the end. Second half is going to be interesting. It has to be, because Pittsburgh know they have to try and win the game. And Hartford are not going away either, so let's enjoy it.
Should be a fun one in the second half. Chances for that man, Russell Cicerone. Chances for Alex Dixon as well, but the home crowd and the Riverhounds have yet to hit the back of the net. Plenty more to look forward to in the second half, but at the half, it's Pittsburgh 0, Hartford Athletic 0. The halftime report from the Steel City is next.
The 2022 season tickets are now on sale for both full and partial season plans. And you can get in for as low as $153. Don't miss your opportunity to save over 20% off of single game prices.
The man who's done it for them all year, it's Russell Cicerone. That's a good finish. Cross Wharton. Score!
Order today at riverhounds.com/tickets or call 412-325-7231.
Hey, I'm Mike Rowe, here today to encourage you to connect with 811 before you dig.
And I'm Mike Rowe, and I'm here because I love to dig in the dirt.
It's true. He's also here because he's very small and not that bright.
Here, for instance, we can see Mike Rowe doing what he loves to do.
And here we can see the consequences of not doing what he should have done. Dude, why didn't you call 811?
I forgot the number.
See? Not that bright.
My name is Shay, and I have a condition that I take a medication that's made out of human plasma.
Hi, Shay. Welcome to BioLife. We take the generous gift of these donors in order to make these therapies. We make it safe, fast, and easy.
You know, you're compensated for your time while you're coming in and donating.
I just really wanted to thank you for your donation because y'all do change lives. Y'all really do. And I'm thankful for that.
Back here at the half between Pittsburgh and Hartford. Sean St. Jacques, Lloyd Sam here with you. We'll get you out to the second half in just a few moments. But first, we'll take a look at some midweek highlights from the Atlantic Division. Earlier this week, Lloyd, a big one for Charlotte Independence against Loudoun United. Early chance for the Independents in the 6th minute.
Yeah, look at Enzo Martinez. Great little through ball here. Dane Kelly, what was that, for his 100th goal? couldn't make it happen that time. He stays on 99. You really want to see him put that away, and you'll see some celebrations.
Loudoun were really in this game in the first half in particular. This was their big chance in the early minutes.
Yeah, the Loudoun youngsters, you know, honestly, they put up a good fight in this game, and that was a great chance to get one level.
But then Enzo Martinez finds the breakthrough, and he had a lot of time, Lloyd, to get this one off.
Yeah, good play from Overton, the winger. Can't give him that amount of space. He has 3 touches in there. That can't happen in front of that penalty spot. But nonetheless, that is a good finish by Enzo.
Captain's goal for Charlotte to give them the lead. And then in the 68th, Enzo Martinez nearly gets another.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is pretty comfortable for the keeper in the end. Maybe he could get a bit more power on that header, but you know, at the end of the day, this was a big game for Charlotte. They needed to get the win. We expected more goals, but you'll take a 1-0 and the 3 points.
And almost as sweet as the 3 points, the candy that was handed out to the trick-or-treaters after this one. Charlotte won it by a 1-0, and they're still in the driver's seat for now for the 2 seed in the Atlantic Division. We'll take a break. News and notes and more are next.
Today, as you step onto the field, you step into your purpose. You step strong. You step hard. Con toda la fuerza de mujer. You step up.
There's hit on the line! Oh, he put it in! A magnificent strike! You go down, you come back, and you find a way.
Goes topics. I mean, yeah, let's talk about today we're gonna go topics.
Roll it down.
I am.
You don't need a car to listen to Sirius XM. You can listen anywhere. You know that, right?
What? Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio.
Kevin, you could use your phone.
What? What?
Alexa, play Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio on Sirius XM.
What? This is how I know you're getting old. I guess that was it.
What?
I am a first-generation student here at Bellevue University. I feel like if I were to have gone to a different university, my experience would have been a lot more stressful and overwhelming, because I feel like I wouldn't have gotten that personal experience that Bellevue University has to offer.
Yeah, hey, how you gon' feel when I take it? How you gon' feel when I take it? We about action. We about action. Tell me how you gon' feel.
There's hit on the line! Oh, he put it in! A magnificent strike! You go down, you come back, and you find a way.
Tell me how you gon' feel.
Sean St. Jacques, Lloyd Sam back here with you at the half between Pittsburgh and Hartford. Let's take a look at some of the news and notes from around the USL Championship. And obviously, it's the season's final day next weekend. The 2021 USL Championship playoffs presented by Twin Spires kicks off. The CBA approved as well. Collective bargaining agreement through 2026. Big news there between the Players Association and the league. And then, of course, maybe the biggest news of all, the Cup Final 2021 USL Championship Final is going to be on ESPN, the mothership, on November 28th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. That's what everyone's fighting for. It's going to be on the big network at the end of November, and we can't wait for it. Team of the Week, led by Cameron Lancaster, who's having a really strong finish, Lloyd, to his regular season.
Yeah, I've seen him play all season. Love the way he plays the game, gets shots off quickly. Looking, Dylan Mayers from El Paso, that's a good friend of mine. He's a very good player as well. Jonathan Gomez, another one I'll mention. Some familiar names, you see them in there week after week sometimes, these guys.
Bruno Lapa as well has been dealing with injuries this year. It's great to see him getting hot at the right time as well. And now we move on to the schedule for the rest of the night in the USL Championship. Games galore with playoff implications to finish off what's been a really fun regular season.
If you're watching this one, then you're going to have your eye on that game at 9 o'clock Eastern, Charlotte Independence. You know, depending on if Pittsburgh can finish the job here, everyone's going to have their eyes on that result.
And then San Antonio, Colorado Springs, that one is for a home playoff game as well. And RGV, Oakland, Los Dos, all fighting for playoff spots. A ton to watch throughout the night.
Exciting
on
times.
ESPN+. No question about that. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, first half highlights and stats and the second half kick from Pittsburgh.
I can't believe we're doing this.
Gus, you're not scared, are you?
I don't like thunder. Hope there are no monsters.
Did you say monster?
Ooh, monster money. The new scratch-off from the Pennsylvania lottery.
Yeah, with top prizes of 13 grand.
That's a monster of a prize.
Keep on scratching.
There's a lot more to do at Highmark Stadium than just watching the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Over the past 8 years, Highmark Stadium has played host to corporate, community, and private events both big and small. Concerts and festivals with thousands of attendees, private banquets and parties, plus corporate and networking events of all sizes are just a few of the types of events that have taken advantage of our beautiful riverfront view of the city. Visit highmarkstadium.com to find out more.
Before you weren't able to walk very far.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. I couldn't even get out of bed sometimes.
How are you walking now?
I'm walking 6 miles a day.
Awesome.
Getting control back is living proof. The AHN Neuroscience Institute.
2022 season tickets are now on sale for both full and partial season plans. And you can get in for as low as $153. Don't miss your opportunity to save over 20% off of single game prices.
The man who's done it for them all year, it's Russell Cicerone.
That's a good finish. Cross Wharton. Score!
Order today at riverhounds.com/tickets or call 412-325-7231.
Sean St. Jacques, Lloyd Sam back here with you. No score between Pittsburgh and Hartford at the half. Second half coming up in just a few moments. But first, let's take a look at the first half highlights from this one. A lot of chances for both teams in the first half. We'll start in the 14th minute with an opportunity here, Lloyd, for Hartford.
Should have done better there, Dodson. Really should have done better by the time it comes across. Gets under it and heads it over. That one, put that on the target if you can.
31st minute, Pittsburgh playing out of the back, and they got it forward pretty quickly here.
How does this result in Dixon getting in? You really expect him to do better there. We've seen it all season, him and Cicerone, but today, in this first half, haven't really got going in front of goal at all. Has to hit the target there.
Huge missed chance there for Alex Dixon. Almost got his 10th goal of the season there. And then in the 39th minute, another chance. This time it fell for Cicerone.
And this is an even better one. Russell Cicerone, that's not like him again. The theme is it's not like them in front of goal, right? Cicerone, Dixon, guys they've relied on all season. Thomas Williamson has done well though. And I think this second half they're gonna have a chat about it and come out, you know, with a real desire to get a goal. But look at this save that comes from Vitiello. He's a guy that wants to make these playoffs. Wow, that little touch there, he has no right to save this ball, in my opinion. Hit so well, it's a wet day, little fingertip to it.
Great shot from Luca Purpa, but Danny Vitiello was up to the task and made a phenomenal save. Halftime match stats, just one shot on target for both teams, and that's probably because Dixon and Cicerone have had two chances between them, and neither of them have hit the target.
I'm glad you went straight to the shots on target. That one for each team. That's very surprising, and I think that's what needs to change in this second half. They would have chatted about it, and they're going to come out looking to make it right.
Yeah, 9 shots total, but only one that really Caldwell and company have had to think about, and just one shot on target for Hartford. They had a few chances as well through set pieces, but haven't been able to direct them on target. That save from Vitiello is the only shot that Hartford managed on target in the first half. Still coming down pretty hard as far as the rain is concerned here in Pittsburgh. Teams will switch sides at the start of this second half. This game is big for Pittsburgh because if they can win it and Charlotte drop points later on tonight in Austin, they will have the number 2 seed in the Atlantic Division and will host Memphis 901 FC right here at Highmark in the first round of the USL Championship playoffs. If they don't win, or if Charlotte wins later on tonight, Pittsburgh will be on the road again in the playoffs for the first round for a second consecutive season. It could be Lou City. They might have to go there for a second year in a row, or Birmingham Legion. At the moment, it's 0-0 in that game. Lou City have to win to get the top spot. So then Pittsburgh, if they don't get the 2, they'd play Birmingham. But if Lou City were to draw or lose and Pittsburgh don't get the 2, they're going to have to go back to Lynn Family for a second straight year in the first round.
It's going to be tough either way. I think that's what you really want to tell your players. We want to get to that spot, but it's not in our hands. You know, number 2. It's going to be tough. Be ready from now. Get your minds ready for them playoff games because you're going to need to go with that right mentality.
Just want to give a quick update as well. Chris Wehan scored in first half stoppage time for New Mexico United. So just as quickly as Real Monarchs leveled it, New Mexico United are back in front. So that's a huge goal for them. And of course, if they can win that game and if RGV drop points later on tonight, New Mexico United gets the 4th spot in the Mountain Division and RGV would be out. However, if RGV can beat El Paso, and that's not an easy task, even at home, it would be RGV, no matter what New Mexico United does, they would get the 4th spot. And New Mexico United, along with Austin Bold, by the way, would be out.
Not much is easy at this point in the season.
So much is still up in the air, and we still have 45 minutes to go here to see if Pittsburgh can put themselves in the driver's seat and put the pressure back on Charlotte later on tonight with the number 2 seed in the Atlantic Division up for grabs. Still scoreless here in Pittsburgh at the start of this second half between the Riverhounds and Hartford Athletic. It's Rivera getting an early touch at the start of this second half. Didn't see a ton from Rivera in the first 45 minutes for the Riverhounds. Headed at the back by Mikel Williams, and it's out for a Hartford Athletic throw. Big chances from Cicerone and Dixon, who have been the big goal scorers this year for Pittsburgh. Not able to hit the target in the first half. Hartford had a couple of big chances as well. The biggest, of course, was the Luca Perpa strike from outside the penalty area that was really well saved from Danny Vitiello. Nobody gets a touch to that on this near side. It's going to be out for a Pittsburgh throw. Pittsburgh's won 6 out of 8 in the previous meetings with Hartford Athletic. The only loss, again, was here a season ago. Hartford won kind of late in the season. In the end, pipped Pittsburgh to the top spot in that group. Got a home playoff game, but in the end, both teams, as we mentioned earlier, lost in the first round. Hartford won't get a chance to make amends, at least this season, but Pittsburgh very much will. It's just going to be about where they're going to play, and that's what they're playing for tonight.
Lots and lots of up and downs in a game of football. You know, as you're talking about that Monarchs game as well on the other side and New Mexico, you know, don't be surprised if there's another twist. For a man, I can't imagine what it's like for a manager on the side. You know, you can't control what's going on, and it's just the emotions.
Yeah, they just got into halftime, so we're waiting to see what's going to happen in the second half. And again, just for those keeping an eye on it, Birmingham Legion 0, Lou City 0, 34th minute. If that holds, Birmingham get the number 1 seed in the Central Division. Lou City would be the 2 and could potentially play Pittsburgh if Charlotte were to win or if Pittsburgh were to drop points here. And it's funny, we talked about, you know, Pittsburgh wants the home game, Charlotte want the home game. You're gonna have to play Memphis. Memphis is rolling over Indy 11 right now, 2-0 up, and it could have been more. They've had a couple of big opportunities. So even if you get what you want, you're getting a red-hot Memphis 901 FC under Ben Pierman.
I'm telling you, that Memphis team, as we talked about, started slow. The other night I watched them play, they were really impressive. I was saying during the broadcast, they look playoff ready.
Pittsburgh on the attack here. Crucial touch by Cardona. Defensively out for a Riverhounds throw. And of course, later on tonight, the late slate is pretty darn good too. RGV El Paso, San Antonio, Colorado Springs, head-to-head. Winner of that game gets a playoff game at home in the first round. Austin and Charlotte. Tampa, if you want to see them before they get into the playoffs, they're playing Vegas. And then, of course, Oakland, still in with a chance at a playoff spot. And then Los Dos in Orange County, the late game, 10:30. That is a huge game for playoff implications as well, and for seeding, with Orange County trying to secure a home playoff game as well in the Pacific Division.
San Diego play at 10:30 as well tonight, and there is some playoff implications home and away for them. They need to win, and that's the late, as you said, the late games.
Yeah, the late slate. They're playing Sacramento. Just a fun way to finish the regular season, isn't it, in the USL Championship? So many things can still happen in this first set of games, and then in that late grouping as well out west.
This one we got here is going to get interesting. I love games where, you know, a team needs something. They need to win. It means that, you know, as the game goes on, they're not going to sit back. They're going to push forward and do everything they can. They have to keep the back door closed while doing it. That's a tricky thing to do in this game.
Forbes.
Love that ball from Forbes. Wow.
Wonderfully placed to find Williamson. Williamson, oh, it falls for Rivera, and then Justin Hack with a crucial sliding challenge.
Great reaction from Justin Hack. I've not seen him play center back yet. I've seen him play center midfield and anchoring, and he's done well at center back so far.
It's a place where normally you see McGlynn, but Hack's been there quite a bit in this game tonight. He's more than held his own. The NYCFC loanee. Second year in a row he's been loaned to Hartford Athletic. Just remember Roddy Jaidi last year really singing the praises of Justin Hack and what he's brought to the table, and so did Harry Watling when they decided to bring him back for another year. All the way back it goes to Vitiello. Lovely touch from Forbes. And it goes back to Griffin. Oh, misplaced pass there, and Dotson now trying to run onto this. Vitiello noticed it wasn't going to roll in to the penalty area so he could pick it up, and he ends up booting it clear. Perpa, good control in traffic, and wins a throw. Obregon. In the end, Pittsburgh concede the throw. It's been a great theme, I must mention, this year. You know, we talked about it, obviously, with players, you know, playing for the crest, playing for the fans, playing for jobs, frankly, as well. But what Loudoun's been able to do, Red Bulls 2, throw Hartford in there, Charleston, Real Monarchs right now against New Mexico United. Just great to see the teams that aren't in it continuing to make an impact on the teams that are. It should be that way. You should have to earn every point, and it's one of the nice things about this league throughout the entire season. Coaches have talked about it ad nauseum. Can't take a break any week in this league, and it's great to see that shown throughout all 32 games.
And to that point, that game, you know, Charlotte Independence versus Loudoun,
yeah,
people were expecting a high scoreline.
Yeah.
When you look at that 1-0, you know, scoreline, you know that that was a tough fault. It wasn't given to them. They had to earn that win on that day, so it's a great point you made.
Well, of course, Loudoun beat Miami a few weeks ago at home, 3-2. That wild game with 2 red cards and 2 penalties as well. That really cost Paul Dalglish's side a chance at the 2 seed, and they were very much in it at the time. Of course, they've got the 4 seed, and they'll know their opponents in about an hour's time as well. They'll either get Birmingham Legion or Lou City. Oh, wonderfully worked by Forbes, and then the shot hits the side netting. It did take a deflection on the way through, and Kenardo Forbes wins a corner.
Forbes does well to get off a shot here, wiggles around in the box. Has a lot of touches for someone in the box. Good little skill there. Gets it off with his left foot, unlucky. Can they get something in a dangerous area here?
Forbes places it. Dodson heads it. Foul outside of the penalty area. And a yellow card here for Rivera for tugging on the shirt of Obregon. First Pittsburgh player to have his name taken tonight. We'll take another look.
Let's see this one. Oh, they were both kind of doing it at first, but I guess, yeah, he's kind of stopped Obregon at the end.
Guess it's kind of take your pick in that situation. Didn't start great. And then it ended up being a drag back by Rivera.
The Riverhounds, number 4, Danny Rivera.
Caldwell, lovely ball to place that on that far side, then an overhead kick, and Barrera was in the area but couldn't get a touch. This is Justin Hack. Younes Boudadi let it run a little too far. Ends up paying the price. It's out for a Pittsburgh throw, although Harry Watling is shaking his head on this near side. Meanwhile, looks like Hartford Athletic are going to make the first change of the night. Derek Dodson's race is run. Preston Tabor-Itaka is going to enter.
Yep, Tabor-Itaka, guy with 4 goals, 5 assists. Played a lot of games for Hartford this season. It's a good guy to be able to bring on at this stage. He can be very dangerous on his day.
And I commend anybody for wearing a cast, especially as long as he's worn one this season. He's fought through so much just to play this season, it feels like, and
that's true.
He's willing to do whatever it takes.
I've been seeing that cast a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Credit to him.
Talk about commitment to the cause, no matter what. That is what Tabor-Itaka has brought to this Hartford team. And you'd mention the numbers as well. He's contributed with goals and assists this season for Harry Watling's bunch. We'll see if he can make an impact in these last 40 minutes or so, 35 to be exact, plus stoppage time. Hack lofting it forward. Pittsburgh deal with it defensively initially. Obregon Jr. wins it back, but it's picked off by Dixon. Lovely skill through traffic by Alex Dixon, and he wins a free kick with 4 gray shirts chasing him. And Obregon Jr. is booked.
Cards are coming out now. I mean,
a yellow card is issued to Hartford Athletics number 29, Juan Obregon.
There's Dixon getting some touches in this second half. I don't like judging referees' decisions. I feel like I've judged a few now. I guess we got to trust him.
To be fair, not a ton of contact there, but
it's a foul.
Looked like he did impede the progress. It is the 4th Hartford player to be booked, to be fair, in this game so far. This played by Weed on the far side. Dixon helps him out. Now Peters. This is Rivera.
That's a good ball.
Williamson helps it on. Well, the ball was able to touch the ground in the penalty area, but before Cicerone could try and get to it, a foul is called. And a wry smile from Justin Hack, who's able to alleviate some of this Pittsburgh pressure.
It's unlucky from Pittsburgh. You saw what they were trying to do, get it into Williamson. A little flick round the corner to Cicerone. Couldn't quite execute.
Gordon helping it on, but only as far as Hack, with Forbes bearing down on him. It took a deflection, might have been handled there as well. Referee allows play to continue. Headed forward, lovely touch from Barrera. Tabor-Itaka. Danny Rivera picks it back up for Pittsburgh. And it's helped on, and Cicerone not able to keep it in play. Some frustration from Bob Lilly with Rivera's decision-making, I think, on that occasion. It's a lovely decision by Barrera, just too far out in front of Tabor Itaka to get to it. It's going to go out of play Hartford's way as Vitiello had to get a touch on that.
Vitiello done well, actually, because Tabor Itaka was going to get to that ball. I thought he was coming a bit too far out from his goal, but if Tabor Itaka gets there, cuts it back, you never know what happens.
This is Barrera. Lovely ball in, and Weed had to get a touch to that and did so. The longer it stays 0-0, the more you think that Hartford has got a real shot here. Able to put together some pretty good chances, just like Pittsburgh, though, have not been able to take them. Or they've been denied by Vitiello, to be fair. Obregon, meanwhile, wins a corner. As we approach the hour mark here at Highmark Stadium. Pittsburgh have already clinched a playoff spot. They've done it for the 4th consecutive season. Only Lou City and Phoenix in the last 4 years have equaled that. But they're playing for a home playoff game here tonight, and they have to win. They're going to have a shot at it. Shot comes flying in. It took a deflection on the way through. Vitiello was rooted to the spot, and Hartford unlucky to only end up with a goal kick.
So did the flag not go up there? Because I can't see it from here, but it looked like it could be in an offside position, not sure.
Ooh, very well could have been. Griffin was the closest to it to potentially play Obregon, but I think when the ball was kicked, Lloyd, you're probably right. Flag might have gone up. I don't think it did, though.
I don't think it did. That was a big chance then. You just want to glance at that and divert it to goal there.
Good eye by you, though. I think that it probably should have gone up, to be fair to Pittsburgh. Probably should have gone up.
It was hard to tell. I did see one yellow shirt right at the end that was with about 4 Hartford shirts. So
yeah,
he possibly could have kept them on. It doesn't matter now. It didn't come. But that's how dangerous it is. You know, Hartford, you would say nothing to play for, but there is, you know, players are out there. There's personal pride. There's guys that want contracts next year. There's always something to play for.
Barrera, good touch initially. He's brought down by Rivera. It's not a yellow card. He's got to be careful.
That's right.
Just a free kick for Hartford Athletic. Just under half an hour, I should say, left in this one, plus stoppage time.
You know what I would like to see / hear? The crowd getting a little bit more involved in it, making some noise, willing on there. It's not on them, it's on the players, but you know, it's quite quiet. The atmosphere today, I know it's raining, is not how it sometimes is. You know, when we're on the field and the crowd just, you know, start making noise and get us up for it, gives you an extra little bit.
Well, Bob Lilly's going to try and make some changes to get the energy back up a little bit. Looks like Rivera is going to be withdrawn. Anthony Velarde is going to come on. So Rivera and that yellow card head to the side. Velarde's had some big moments this season for Pittsburgh. Wharton is going to make way. Luis Perez is going to come on. And it's actually going to be a triple change. Jordan Dover is also going to enter. And Williamson is going to be withdrawn. So 3 changes in one go here for Bob Lilly and Pittsburgh to try and change the tide. Hartford have had the better of it these last 5-10 minutes. And Pittsburgh are trying to regain it with some fresh legs.
Surprise Williamson's come on. But I will say, I want to add to my point about what I said about the crowd. Conversely, players on the field, you have to do something, get them into it. You know, a big tackle, a run or something, a bit of brilliance. Dixon, Cicerone, where are you? You know, they're the two that need to, you guys are the stars of this team.
Pittsburgh on the attack. Peters, Luis Perez. This is Canardo Forbes. Delicate pass across to Dover. Appeals for offside against Alex Dixon. Flag stayed down, but the ball went out of play anyway for a Hartford throw. As the rain continues to come down here in Pittsburgh. Halftime, by the way, Birmingham, Lou City. No score as of yet, which is fine for Birmingham. They don't have to win. They just need a draw in order to win the Central regular season title and get the top seed in that division. Lou City have already guaranteed a playoff game. It's just going to be whether they potentially have two in the first and second round. And that matters to Pittsburgh because they can end up playing Lou City if the result stays as it is in Alabama tonight. If Pittsburgh want to put the pressure on Charlotte, they have to win. It's worth reminding, if Pittsburgh do draw, they would be level on points with Charlotte. However, Charlotte has the head-to-head tiebreaker. They beat Pittsburgh 3 out of 4 times during the regular season.
You know, you definitely, of course, this is what they're trying to do, but definitely want to put pressure on Charlotte. You don't want to give Charlotte a nice, easy ride into that second position. You want to win this and make Charlotte have to win that game.
Of course, Charlotte are surely watching this game, and Svitiello has to make the catch with Walmer Martinez bearing down. Who knows, Mike Jeffries might have a second lineup in mind in case Pittsburgh don't do the business here, trying to rest some guys.
And that would be smart.
Cicerone came back from an offside position, I believe, so Justin Hack regains possession for Hartford. But he gives it right back. Canardo Forbes. Looking for runners here. He has Griffin to his left and finds him. Louis Perez.
Good play.
Griffin. Griffin blocked by Hack, and Hack keeps it in play. And Perez, though, keeping the pressure on, forces it out for a throw. Referee blew his whistle when a yellow card has been issued. I think was it to the Hartford bench? I'm not entirely sure. Fourth officials having to talk to some of the Hartford coaches at the moment. Harry Watling off camera had a weird look on his face as if to say, well, who was that given to? But I believe it was a Hartford coach. It was the assistant Hartford coach who was booked. Play continues. Might have been handled in there by Forbes. Referee, let's play continue, and Barrera clears. I'll add that to the list. 5 yellows for Hartford, 4 on different players, including Budati, Cardona, Barrera, and Obregon, and now the coaching staff as well.
Well done by Alex Dixon there. Chased a lost cause and it turned what was nothing into a corner kick. Crowd, giving him a little bit of noise for it, just a little bit, but you got to make your own luck.
It's a corner for Velarde and Pittsburgh. Referee was just checking on something. Sent in by Velarde. Over almost everybody's head. Forbes sends it back in, the header, and then the chance for Cicerone. Such a tough angle for Cicerone to even get to that, let alone get a touch. And in the end, it's out for a goal kick.
But that's better by Pittsburgh. This is what you want to see. You want to see them pushing. You want to see them getting chances, trying to get to their goal. Unlucky Russell Cicerone in the end. He's a name we want to be calling towards the end of this game.
Would have been a tough angle for Cicerone to even get a good touch on it, let alone put it on target. He nearly did so off the header.
Yeah, that wasn't an easy chance at all.
There's a Hartford player down, meanwhile, after that last sequence. That's why we have a little bit of a pause in play here. Louis Perez getting more instructions from Bob Lilly on the touchline. I think Younes Boudadi is listening in a little bit to those instructions.
Louis Perez, he's a player with some technical ability. He hasn't played a huge number of minutes this year, but when I have seen him, you know, he's got some technical ability, that's for sure.
We're told that Hartford might have to make a change here, as the man down is Arthur Rogers, and it's like Harry Watling might have to make a change. Well, that's tough to see. Arthur Rogers these last 2 years has been such a big part of what Hartford Athletic have brought to the table, but he's going to be withdrawn here. Ashkanov Apollon is going to come on to take his place. There's the confirmation. Apollon is on. Rogers makes way here just before we hit the 70-minute mark. Second change for Harry Watling's side. This one, of course, due to the Rogers injury. Not a tactical change, but we'll see what Apollon can do to help that Hartford back line. Still goalless. Hartford had a really good stretch about 10, 15 minutes ago in this second half. Had a few chances, weren't able to hit the back of the net. Pittsburgh, since they've made a triple change a few minutes ago, had the better of it, but again, not been able to beat Jeff Caldwell. There'll be a foul called there. I think is now Obregon takes a seat. Just under 20 minutes to go. Fans starting to get back into it here at Highmark.
And that's what the boys need on the field. You know, they need a little bit of atmosphere. I think a little bit of a lift. They're not playing in the last, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, not really inspiring at the moment. We've seen Pittsburgh at their best this season. We know what that looks like. Even first half, they got in behind a lot of times. They had a few chances, one-on-ones. Not really looked like that in this second half at all.
It's going to be a set piece for Hartford. Danny Barrera setting this one up. Dixon got his head to it first. Tibor Itaka able to keep it in. Second chance here. Barrera. Another good ball in. Hack's header was redirected, but it only fell to the feet of Peters in the end. Now Pittsburgh on the counterattack, and Peters' wayward pass is picked off by Apollon. All the way back for Jordan Dover to deal with. Pittsburgh will recycle. But not for long as it hit the stanchion that keeps the scoreboard up here at Highmark on that far side. Apollon is originally from Boston, Massachusetts, but represents Haiti internationally. One of the many USL Championship players that have been able to make an impact for their national team, which is great to see.
It's been good to see the USL Championship players, as you're saying, in the national teams in this league. You know, there's been, as we said, El Salvador. Let's see what happens here. This is a good chance.
Louis Perez picks this off. Velarde has to give chase on this near side, and he's going to end up fouling, I think, here Boudadi in the end, negating the attack.
It's just a credit to the league, though, when you see the international players now. It's been more and more. And you know, you see the likes of Joaquin Rivas playing for El Salvador and scoring goals, and you know, it's great for the league.
No question. Even just USL Championship alums like Tyler Adams and others, Matt Turner, have gone on and are now making massive impacts, not only at bigger clubs, but also for their national teams as well. Heck, Alphonso Davies comes to mind as well. Canada and Bayern Munich player, formerly of the USL Championship.
As big as it comes,
yeah, doesn't get much bigger than that. Champions League winner and Trying to get Canada to a World Cup out of CONCACAF. Pittsburgh on the attack now. Anthony Velarde. Ball played into the middle. Cicerone was closest to it off the feed from Dover. Dover does well, but concedes the throw.
We'll start turning up the pressure. That was a good little passing move before that cross came in. We'll see some more moves. Got to really threaten that goal.
Griffin. Peters. Ooh, Perez just kept that alive. Griffin. Forbes looking for Dixon. Dixon first time ball. Blocked by Apollon. And out for a corner for the Riverhounds. 16 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. Pittsburgh has to win to put pressure on Charlotte. Cicerone was the initial target. Peters lost out. Griffin just doing enough to keep that alive for the moment. Obregon, though, wins it back. This could be a counter-attacking chance for Hartford. Martinez, and what a challenge that was. Shane Weed had to get there and did.
Looked like Martinez hesitated a little bit. You know, he's running up to the ball. Kind of stopped. Great tackle, though. All ball in the end. Really want to see him just run right through that Martinez, get that touch, and have a race to goal.
It's going to be a throw, and Hartford are in no hurry to take it. 15 minutes left. Plus stoppage time, of course. I guess Griffin was actually booked during that last sequence as well, just off camera. Hartford are able to clear. It's only out for a Pittsburgh throw. Griffin was booked actually away from the play, I think, at least off camera during the last sequence. And well, actually there's going to be retributions for that challenge. Referee came back and booked Griffin for that.
I don't mind that decision there, especially when there was a counter coming. You know, Obregon would have loved to have turned and got involved in the attack as well, so. Didn't see a 0-0.
Still time to change it. Wonderful skill from Forbes. Lovely drop off. Nearly found Dixon, but a crucial touch from Cardona leads to a corner after just luscious skill from Canardo Forbes.
Yeah, good stuff from Forbes. Little flick over the other player, and then the weight of the pass. Classy, that.
They'll take this corner as well. It comes near post header. I think it was Weed who was closest to it. Had to turn his head, I think, a little bit more than that if he was going to direct it on target. Still 2-1 New Mexico, by the way, if you're keeping track of the Western Conference situations as far as playoff implications are concerned. They're into the second half of that one. Birmingham Legion 0, Lou City 0. I believe they're about to kick off, if they haven't already, the start of the second half in Alabama. Charlotte play later on tonight in Austin. But for that game to matter as far as they're concerned, Pittsburgh have to win this one. Barrera looking for Tabor Itaka, couldn't find him. And then I think a late whistle here has brought this back. I think for a Hartford free kick, and it has.
Yeah, right as Barrera played that ball out to the right side, he was clipped. I think it was Danny Griffin again.
So a set piece here for Hartford Athletic. Has not been easy in this game for Pittsburgh. To be fair, they missed a couple of huge chances, couple from Dixon, two from Cicerone as well. Luca Perpa came closest for Hartford in the first half, denied by Danny Vitiello. Barrera lofts it in, the header is down, and it's just wide. Walmer Martinez, I think, got his head to that. Scored a brace last time out against Charleston, and he nearly scored again.
What a great ball that was by Danny Barrera, though. Right where you want to put it from a wide free kick. Look at this area he puts it in. Martinez gets up. How good did it look from here when he first headed it? Looked like that could nestle in that corner. Got to imagine that goes in. Pittsburgh likely it would be very difficult to get back in and win this game.
Louis Perez on for Cicerone. Lovely control under some pressure situations there, and then Pittsburgh were calling for a foul. They didn't get it. Sent all the way back to Danny Vitiello. Vitiello boots it forward. Apollon just heads it out of play, giving it right back to the Riverhounds. Bob Lilly's side running out of time here. Just 11 minutes left of the 90. Charlotte could clinch the 2 again without even playing tonight, but this result would have to hold. If Pittsburgh were to win, Charlotte would have to go out and win as well. Pittsburgh fans upset on that far side. They thought they'd gotten the throw. It's going to go Hartford's way. Of course, fans know what's at stake. They're fighting for a chance to see their boys in person again here at Highmark for that opening playoff game. Velarde with a good ball in. Budati, though, was in a good position to stop it. Velarde wins it back. Now Canardo Forbes. Leaves it for Dixon. Jordan Dover. Cardona clears. And it's out for another throw with 10 minutes left of the 90. Poor pass there and a giveaway. Tabor Itaka. Good job muscling off one Pittsburgh challenge. Preston Tabor Itaka decides to go for goal, and it was a punch from Vitiello. Not going to take any chances. He left that, not sure where that was going to end up.
Great run. That's fresh legs coming on, bringing some energy.
Lovely run from Apollon initially, and then he lost it at the last moment. But Tabor Itaka basically took on the entire Pittsburgh back line. And Forbes fouled there by Danny Barrera. Of course, Barrera had a chance tonight to pass Canardo Forbes as the USL Championship assist king. He would have needed 2 tonight to do that.
Nearly had 1 on that last free kick.
Nearly tied him. Forbes has nearly extended his lead a couple of times tonight. Perpa dispossesses Velarde. Barrera, pass picked off by Shane Weed, and now Velarde again, and he lost it at the last second to McGlynn. Tabor Itaka sliding it through for Younes Budati. Crucial challenge at the back by Mikel Williams, and it's out for a Hartford throw.
Committed challenge, equal to exactly what he needed to do there.
Budati's ball in. Falls for Tabor Itaka. Velarde not the best challenge, but is able to get it away, and then Cicerone is fouled. Just under 8 minutes left. Pittsburgh need to win if they want to come back here next week against Memphis in the first round of the USL Championship playoffs. It's like another change upcoming, this time for Pittsburgh. Ezra Armstrong is going to come on, and Shane Weed is actually going to be withdrawn here.
Need to start pushing some numbers forward now, Sean. No, there's nothing to lose now. You got to go for it. Might as well lose 1-0, go in for the win.
And that is worth noting. Pittsburgh, the worst they could do is the 3. Miami already stuck in the 4 anyway, so A loss does nothing.
And there's not a lot of time left now. It's the last 7 minutes of regular time. Urgency.
Forbes slipped at the vital moment. Purpa picks it back up. Preston Tabor-Itaka on the counterattack for Hartford.
He missed the pass.
Tried to slide it through late on there for Barrera. Couldn't find him.
He missed the pass there.
Louis Perez. Velarde helping it on. Couldn't find Dixon.
I think initially it was Martinez was in on goal for about 3 seconds. And the pass never came.
RGV El Paso, they just kicked off. RGV have already taken the lead. Rodrigo Lopez Alvarez scored inside of 6 minutes to give the Toros the lead. That's a huge result potentially for them and New Mexico United, who would be out if RGV were to win. Meanwhile, McGlynn with a shot fumbled by Vitiello, but he recovers before Obregon could make him pay for it.
And McGinn knows how to hit them from deep as the halfway line this season. So you want to encourage him to shoot. You want to close him down if you're Pittsburgh, though.
Pittsburgh on the attack. Armstrong trying to make something happen. Great ball across. Forbes! And a crucial challenge by McGlynn at the back. It's a corner.
Just the man we were talking about. I think Connor McGlynn has just saved his team a goal there. What great tracking. He just had the shot on the other end that I was talking about. Ezra Armstrong does well. Looked like, wow, what a great tackle that is.
It leads to this corner for Forbes. Towards the back post. Hartford get it away only as far as Alex Dixon. Dixon trying to send it back in and took a couple of deflections on the way out. It's going to be another corner for the Riverhounds. 5 minutes left plus stoppage time. By the way, San Antonio have also scored. Michael Edwards in the 4th minute. They lead the Colorado Springs Switchbacks at home by 1-0. If San Antonio win or draw, they get a home game in the first round. Ball in here for Pittsburgh, and another chance goes begging in the middle of the penalty area. And it's a goal kick as Hack shepherds it out. Pittsburgh starting to run out of time here. And Bob Lilly, he's trying to see if his team can get this over the line with 3 points, but they have very little time still to do it. Charlotte clinches the 2 seed if Pittsburgh cannot come up with 3 points here. New Mexico United, by the way, have scored again. They lead 3-1 over Real Monarchs. That holds. They put the pressure on RGV to try to see out their victory. Of course, they just got underway. Long way to go, but they do lead RGV by 1-0. Foul against Danny Barrera, who does have to be a little cautious here. He's on a yellow card. And again, Pittsburgh took it before the referee blew his whistle. So some frustration there.
Someone shouting, let them play on the side.
Pittsburgh have to hurry. Sent forward by Peters, helped on by Dixon. Dover, though, couldn't get on the end of it. Barrera on the counterattack for Hartford here. 3 minutes left plus stoppage time. Barrera sending a good ball in. Vitiello comes off his line and catches. Now Armstrong. Looking for Cicerone. Hartford just about clear it. Good play initially from Obregon. And then he gets a little unlucky and it falls for Griffin. Now Pinardo Forbes. Cicerone. Good ball centrally, but Barrera got there first. Ezra Armstrong. Hack got a touch on it, then Purpa. Hartford clear. Picked back up by Louis Perez off the Peters header. Now Griffin. Lovely ball forward. Jordan Dover. Cicerone lets it run. And it was missed by Velarde. Another golden chance for the Riverhounds.
Great move. Great stuff from Cicerone. I was hoping he let it go through his legs.
Well, meanwhile, Cedeno is going to come on for Obregon, but what a chance. The dummy was just phenomenal. And then Velarde, as you'll see here on the replay, came oh so close.
This is the chance the Riverhounds have been waiting for. Good little move, getting it out there. I'm thinking, Cicerone, let that go through your legs. He does exactly that. What a great opportunity. You'd think he's got to finish that. Misses the target. You want to hit the target there at all costs. The chance goes begging.
I think Jeff Caldwell was just booked for time wasting by the ref. It was on Caldwell there, number 13, so he enters the referee's book. There's the confirmation. As we enter the final minute of the 90, it's going to come down to how much stoppage time I think is going to be added on here. And to be fair, if Jeff Caldwell keeps wasting time, the referee has every right to add more on. That's why he booked him. Hartford seemingly happy to end their 2021 campaign with a draw here. Just be the third time ever they've taken points off of Pittsburgh. If they can hold on, another yellow card brandished here by Kevin Broadley. Tabor Itaka was fouled, I think, and referee's going to bring over Jelani Peters, I believe.
It's getting a little bit heated out there at the end of the game.
Waiting to see what the referee is going to do here. Preston Tabor Itaka is still down. Originally, the yellow card came out. We're going to take another look at this last sequence, though, as the referee brought Peters over. A couple things are still being sorted out. The challenge came in. Oh, did Peters let loose there?
After the play.
Yeah.
When they were down, there was a little swing of an arm there. Tabor Itaka was already down with another knock.
It's just going to be a yellow card here for Peters and a yellow card for Martinez as well.
You can't do that. Your team's trying to get into the playoffs. You don't want to do anything silly at this point. 3 minutes left. You want to give your team the best opportunity to make it.
Bob Lilly not pleased about something. Not sure which part of that he's particularly upset about. He could talk himself into a yellow card if he's not too careful. 3 added minutes, by the way, and we've already had a minute of that, which means we're probably still 3 minutes away from the end of this match minimum. So there's still time for Pittsburgh. They've got to take a chance here, though, or Charlotte will gain the second spot, and Pittsburgh will be forced to head out on the road. We're told Bob Lilly was booked for dissent on this near side, so both coaching staffs now have been issued yellow cards. We've seen that color quite a bit tonight, and we're not just talking about the Pittsburgh uniforms. And another yellow here. But who was that to? I guess it was to Harry Watling, because the assistant has already been booked. My goodness. And this is just going to add on. There's still 3 minimum added on. We haven't even played any soccer in the middle of these 2 that have been played, so surely there's still time for Pittsburgh here, because
I'd love an explanation on all these yellow cards. Like, some of them are self-explanatory, but I'm not sure what they're being given out for.
If you count the coaches' yellows, we've had 2, 4, 6, 8 Hartford yellow cards tonight, and 4 for Pittsburgh. That's quite a bit. Ball played in, Caldwell corrals. And by the way, the 2 minutes that we've had, no soccer's been played. So we could be into the 95th, 96th minute here, realistically. We've had a lot of downtime here to figure out who's getting booked for what.
And we don't know for what, but we know who.
So it's still in Pittsburgh's hands, but they are low on time. It's a throw-in for Hartford. That's not going to help the cause. Kevin Broadley's got a long list of yellows for his report tonight, that's for sure. Budati Throws this back in. Luka Perpa helps it on. Pittsburgh have got to get this upfield. That's not going to help. This is chipped towards goal, and Vitiello was ready just in time. Boy, that was ambitious and well struck, to be fair.
Bit of a scary moment for a second.
Pittsburgh on the other end. The ball goes, ends up being cleared away by the Hartford back line. Bernardo Forbes. Pittsburgh still have some time here. Dover, I think, could have cut that back. He does win a throw in, though. Keeps it with the Riverhounds. Poor touch from Dixon. Tabor Taka, a push and a chase, using his fresh legs to get through here.
Again, there's a man over in the middle there. You know, after you push it, you got to get your head up and see what's...
Free kick for a shirt pull there. I'm not sure there was any contact, but referee says it's going to be brought back for a Hartford free kick.
You see the man open in the middle when Tabor Taka's running.
Yeah.
The whole time he's running, he needs to be thinking, I've got an eye on that, and I've got an eye on what I'm doing. And they could have had another guy in on goal.
Well, we already know that Miami is the 4. We know that Tampa Bay has clinched the #1 seed in this Atlantic Division. Pittsburgh have to get it up to the other end of the field and score if they're going to get the 2. Barrera with a ball in, headed away. So we're about to play into the 5th minute, I should say end of the 5th minute, of the minimum of 3 added on. We could have maybe 30 more seconds, but not much more than that. Hartford are content to keep it on this end. Budati. Tabor Taka, it's given away, but McGlynn wins it back initially. Free kick for Pittsburgh as we play into minute 6 of stoppage time. Armstrong a little slow to get up. Vitiello's all the way forward here. Last roll of the dice for the Riverhounds.
He understands what it's about. That's what the energy and body language should have been like that from the whole second half for me.
Forbes plays it in. It's headed on towards Dixon, cleared by Cardona. All the way back for Griffin.
Tricky bounce.
There's a couple of Hartford players up here if Martinez hurries, but Griffin got another touch. Dover sends it forward. Referee takes a look at his watch. There's still apparently a little bit of time here if Pittsburgh can hurry. Dixon heads it on, places it for Cicerone. Armstrong's across, and Cicerone, then the shot for Peters is blocked on the way through, and Hartford dodged the bullet at the end, and that is the final whistle. Pittsburgh comes up short on the final day, and the Charlotte Independents are the #2 seed in the Atlantic Division. They will host a playoff game in the first round, and it's on the road again in the playoffs for the Riverhounds.
It's on the road again, but congrats to Pittsburgh Riverhounds making the playoffs, and they've got a playoff game to come. You wanted the home leg. They've done everything. I wouldn't say they've played the best today, but they've tried. They've huffed and puffed. Unlucky.
It finishes goalless here between the Riverhounds and Hartford, and Pittsburgh will wait to see where they will go, and it'll be Birmingham or Lewis City. We'll take a break, and we will wrap things up next.
Before you weren't able to walk very far.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. I couldn't even get out of bed sometimes.
How are you walking now?
I'm walking 6 miles a day.
Awesome.
Getting control back is living proof. The AHN Neuroscience Institute.
Pleasant Valley Golf Club, nestled in the Laurel Highlands of southwestern Pennsylvania, is now open to the public. Enjoy 18 holes of championship golf with a new island green and fully stocked pro shop. Our clubhouse features a large ballroom for weddings or private parties, 2 restaurants serving delicious food, a sports bar, 2 state-of-the-art golf simulators, and an outdoor patio with gas fire pit and picturesque view. Pleasant Valley Golf Club, now open to the public. 2022 season tickets are now on sale for both full and partial season plans. And you can get in for as low as $153. Don't miss your opportunity to save over 20% off of single game prices.
The man who's done it for them all year, it's Russell Cicerone.
That's a good finish. Cross Wharton. Score!
Order today at riverhounds.com/tickets or call 412-325-7231.
Sean St. Jacques, Lloyd Sam back here with you to wrap things up from Pittsburgh. Honors even and a goalless draw between the Riverhounds and Hartford Athletic. Let's look at the full-time highlights from this one as Pittsburgh get the number 3 seed in the Atlantic Division. 39th minute, Pittsburgh had a chance here.
What a great chance this was as well. Williamson, great no-look pass. Cicerone in on goal, that's exactly where you want to be. I don't think there's a better spot for a one-on-one than that. And you see him put his hands on his head immediately. He knows how good of a chance that is, and that's one he's been putting away all season.
Arguably the best chance of the match for Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Then in the 41st minute, though, a great save from Danny Vitiello.
Great save, great passing move from Hartford. Luca Purpa hits it. Vitiello, he was up for this game. Just the way he conducted himself the whole game. Look at this save here. Little fingertip, just getting it over. And you know, that's what it takes. It takes a guy coming and applying himself to that level to get you where you're trying to get to.
67th minute in this one in the second half, a chance off a set piece from a corner.
Bernardo Forbes whipped it back in. This is the Cicerone chance, of course. Cicerone can't do much about it. He kind of gets to the ball right as it's at the line. You can't begrudge Cicerone for that one.
Then in the 78th, Hartford had a couple of chances to win this game. That was a really good header from Walber Martinez.
I thought Hartford were going to take the lead there. What a great ball. Danny Barrera has been doing it all season. Again, puts it right in an area.
And then in the 88th, this was the best chance of the second half for Pittsburgh, the dummy.
Oh, this is the best chance. I want to say of the game, but at the moment that came is what they were waiting for. It came over, got to hit the target. Simply as that.
And Velarde couldn't do so. In the end, still just one shot on target on the night for Pittsburgh. Hartford had 3, and in the end, it finished honors even.
When I'm reading it, it's an ugly read. 17 and then a 1 on target. That's not efficient at all. They'll know, they'll know tonight wasn't good enough, but they'll be ready for the playoffs, I think. I think that might, put the fire under them to get a better performance next round.
This is what it means in the Atlantic Division as far as the standings. You already know the Rowdies are the 1st seed. Tampa is going to be in the top spot, Miami in the 4th spot, and that means Pittsburgh with the draw. They finish in 3rd. They will either go to Birmingham or to Louisville in the 1st round, and Charlotte will host Memphis in the 1st round.
Congrats to those 4 teams. It's been a long, hard season. We're finally at the end. We can see, the table with, I was going to say all the games played. Still one more for Tampa, it says right there. So, but congrats to those 4 teams qualifying.
And of course, stay with us on ESPN Plus all night. There's still plenty more games going on with a ton of playoff implications that impact all of the standings in the USL Championship. Well, a big opportunity tonight missed in the end by the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Hartford can hang their heads high at the end of a long season. Pittsburgh, though, in the end, will go back on the road in a chance to get to the Eastern Conference Finals where they were a few seasons ago. For Lloyd Sam and our entire crew, I'm Sean St. Jacques saying so long from Pittsburgh. The playoffs are next for the Riverhounds, but they'll be on the road after a goalless draw with Hartford Athletic.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.